Okay, so last class we talked about metrics. Who can remember what we said about metrics? Can you remember what we said about metrics? I will call names. Were you in class last class? Yeah. So talk for me, please. What was metrics all about? Tell me I'm coming. Talk for me. Use your mic. Tell us about metrics. We talked about metrics last class.
Good evening, everyone.
You didn't talk for me.
Metrics. Honestly, I can't really remember though, but with my own understanding, like my knowledge about metrics, I think metrics basically are they are measures, they are things you use to measure the progress, to track how well a particular product or services is doing in the business. So they are mostly quantitative assessments where PMs would have to track the progress of how well a particular product is doing. So let's say, for instance, KodeCamp as it were, what are the various services? And let's say, for instance, KodeCamp is also producing a particular product. Now, how well are we going to, how well is one of the products, how well is it doing? So metrics will enable us to be able to get well-driven data so that we can be able to track the success of a particular product. I don't know if I make any sense.
It makes sense, but at the same time, metrics is it means you measure your goals and your OKRs. So that's your objective and key results. So you have an objective, you have a key result, you already know your objective, you already created your key result from them. Metrics is the way you measure these things to get to the end point. So who can remember the major types of metrics you have and other subdivision of product metrics we have? You can help with that. Daniel and Femi, so you share it equally. Please use your mic. Any of you first. Daniel, types of metrics. Major types of metrics. Femi, are you on board? So Femi is Femi Adeboye, not Oluwa Femi. Okay. Okay. Femi. Yeah.
Yeah. So my network actually cut off during the last class, so I don't think I was there when you took the metric. But from my idea, from other sources, basically, there are some type of metrics such as productivity metrics, gross profit metrics, customer satisfaction metrics, cost metrics, profit metrics, and the likes. I don't know if it's...
I really got good it. So anyway, those are type of metrics, but they're not the metrics for product management.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, productivity metrics. Those are team metrics. Those are metrics you use per team and everything. Also, support metrics. All those metrics, yeah. That way you track each department. So I mentioned in last class that there are various type of metrics, and each metrics are used as the name may be. But the most important metrics are the success and the vanity metrics. Then the third one is the growth metrics.
Sorry,
so I mentioned success, vanity, and growth metrics. So I mentioned the success metrics are the quantitative data. They are more specific, they are trackable, estimable, and they have the true metrics that makes you look good to others, but you can't make informed decisions from there. And that what I mentioned, social media likes, social media impressions, number of followers, website visits, and the likes. These are, though they are better for your success metrics to be achieved, but they are not really particular data. So when I mentioned about a social media influencer that had 1 million followers, and because you feel they have 1 million followers, you want to make it with them, open and exposure. But the truth could be, but instead of using that metrics, you can hack them for their post engagement metrics. So Instagram, Facebook have data metrics as regards your page, post engagement, your page engagement per week, daily per week, and per month. So you want to hack for that to know how engaging their followers are. So engagement for data, especially their engagement, that means that is a vanity though that make them look good, but shows that there can be conversion from that. So if somebody have 1 million followers and they are having up to like 300,000 engagements, then you know that you're having 300,000. Okay, so you know that you're having 300,000 exposure and the likes. So growth metrics, we mentioned growth metrics as AARRR. I'm saying this offhand without my slide, without anything. So I remember A is acquisition. Yeah, so I need to go and find what this is. So A is acquisition. One of the R is retention. I think because I was proud now. See, capitalize me go. Okay, so AAR, it was made by Dave Cornell. I'm trying to refresh my page here. So acquisition at that point in time. So acquisition, the growth metrics helps the business and employer managers focus on the important metrics. So acquisition was the first time you acquired a client. Activation, when was the client converted to sales? So I keep saying PMs, our underlying reason is to make profits. So you want to create a product people can buy. You want to create a product feature people can make use of. And at the end of the day, you have a product revenue. Right? So acquisition, activation, when did the customer become a salesperson or become your customer? So even though acquisition could be how did they get to your page, how did they get to your landing page? So, and remember, vanity metrics are actually acquisition metrics. They are the means whereby they come in. So you've done a whole lot of marketing, like sowing the seed over the feed and hoping more than enough will germinate, right? So, but at the same time, you can also, so why you do that, you can say, oh, I spread 1,000 seeds. Doesn't mean you will have 1,000 plants, though you might have multiple fruits, right? So you want to, but you can't say 1,000 plant, 1,000 seeds they don't germinate. No, all of them will not germinate, or all of them will become a plant to grow up. And so acquisition is still vanity metrics. How they come over, on what fertile ground did they germinate on? So you can make use of that place well. So for instance, marketing had, you used a social media influencer, you make use of your social media page, IG, and you did a Facebook ad, we did a Google ad, or which was displayed on YouTube. And before you know, you're seeing people you see people coming to your page to come and check. But at the same time, you don't know, they're not converting to sales. So that's the vanity metrics. Oh, 1,000 people came on our page today to come and view. Oh, praise the Lord, blah, blah, blah. That's vanity metrics. So 1,000 people convert to 500 sales. No. Well, if at this week, okay, marketing stop, let's do a Facebook ad and see what happens. So you do a Facebook ad, and you saw many people coming to your page with that conversion. So you know that looking at Facebook ads, you're not reaching the right target audience, but they have mouth of words. So the word of mouth. So these customers are like maybe your uncle, their aunties, who feel they don't need the product, but they can tell their niece and nephew, Adana, there's a webpage, there's a company. You can go and check what they are doing. Adana will come. Adana will tell his friends, our friends, or our friends, and our brothers, and every other person. So then they come. But over time, might not be at that point in time, might not have conversion, but maybe in a month's time, you might begin to see conversions because they've gone ahead to talk to so many people that brought in later, your visitors that help you, right? So you did a Twitter ad and realized that you had less visits but more sales, right? That sales is a success conversion, not success metrics, because now you know what data you can make use of as against the spreading around everywhere. So activation is when the customer become a sales person, a conversion person. So they want to know the process they go through when they come on your website. What their process like? Was it seamless? What are the reasons why they didn't buy? So I use an example of auto check when they have they have to apply a car financing, car loan. So you have to apply for an application. Please give me a few minutes. Okay, sorry. So just apply for the car loan application to get your loan being seen, to get offers from financial partners, and like now the time there were a lot of draft application as against completed applications, right? So what could be the churn? So churn is CHURN, which is at the point in which frustrations for your customer, or the pain point for your customer through your process, and at that point they turn back. So what causes your customer to turn back, or why are you losing these customers? So they realized that they were having a 5-page application form, which turned customers away. So by the time a customer is trying to answer go on to the next one and answer there, it becomes a whole lot of pain points for the customer, and they are wondering, why can't they just bring this document and bring to your office? So why are you asking to be uploading? And you know, some of them don't even have a good phone to snap. Some of them have to go to a cyber cafe to kind of upload those documents on your website. So a whole lot of issues, right? So what they do, they converted the 5-page application to become a 1-page application. What is needed? What are the things you need? So apparently, even with the 5-page application, sometimes you see yourself having to, you see the team members that work with the most likely the lead management team, still having to send an email to the customer to reach out to them to complete an application, to complete a document that they had missed out at the application. So if you're having that process, so why not just at that point in time make it 1 page and the customer have less frustration filling your form? Their name, are they salary earners, their employment details, are they business owners, their business details, then their bank statement is important, their employment letter or CAC document is important. Other thing is important. Their valid identity card is important, and utility bill. So why not just ask for those 4 things? So every other person. So, but because making a 1-page application means that, and there was no commitment. There was usually commitment bond of 1% of the car amount, which was removed, cut down to 2,500, not refundable amount, when the later on taken off completely. So I mentioned this discount issues towards the last end of the class when I was talking about, was it vanity metrics? Vanity. I think it's growth metrics when I talked about want to check what discount makes more sales for you or more conversion for you as again on that discount. So I use an example of the video will be going out tomorrow. Sorry for the issue. So got a technical error though. So I used an example of buy 1 get 1 free and 25% discount. You want to know which of the discounts make sales. But funny enough, so customers could check the price and realize that even though buy one get 1 free sounds like I'm getting a whole lot of, actually I buy I shall multiply my price by 2 to get another one, but I'm getting these 2 at once. Apparently, business owners understand that game. Most likely, they are paying probably the same amount of one clothes, or of the 2 clothes as one clothes, right? So if some customers, if customers are, they knew that last week the clothes was sold around 5, but right now the clothes ending like 13,500. They already know that something was wrong. The day money they are removing 500 naira. Most customers will want to buy your 25% off, as against buy 1 buy 2. So once you check, okay, that's A/B testing. You want to check, yes. So the growth metrics, which is also called the parametric, helps in A/B testing. You want to check which of these is important. So for also check, they found out that 1% car loan and commercial bond was quite expensive, and customers were feeling pain point. Like, even though you are telling me you're going to refund my money, but I realized it's only for 100%. Why? Bank charges, floating wave system, there is no floating wave system, floating wave charges. So the rate balance that they made what they will refund to you. The company itself is also incurring costs because they also have to pay bank charges transferring that money back to you. But at the same time, if you become a converted customer, the money you have initially paid doesn't need to be transferred and refunded to you. Will be 1% of your loan amount or thereabouts. To try and find a way to add it back to the money on ground. But at the end of the day, because the business is losing money, so they have to remove that and make it down 500. I know it's quite a whole lot of people coming for the application, and at a lot point they realize that, okay, why should I make it down 500? We've regained our money that we lost. So yeah, make it free and let everybody apply. So that, but at the customer aspect, it reduces churn of customers because computer application became more as against the draft application they were having previously. And the time spent by customer support agents calling customers to say, oh, I see that you're not completing your application. What can we do? What can you do? What can you do? Where should we help you? And everything is being refuted. So you have more time of your staff to do more better work one side. But there's going to be a problem for another department, which will be the credit officer department, because now they have Emeka, Ikechukwu, everybody coming to come and apply. Apparently, even some people, if they don't even have CSC document, or they'll just put something there and apply. After all, it's free application. It's my data I am using, and it doesn't take time. So sometimes they won't post their pictures and just apply. So at the back end, the best thing to do was to make an internal review. The internal review team check the application that will go straight to the financial partners, or to the credits. For them, financial partners after all. So this one also decline those ones they know that are not good, or send to customer support service to make them understand if the customer has done a mistake or the customer is not even eligible. So that is a way of trying to manage the churn of customers involved. So the next one of the ARR, the HAR, is the retention process. So how do we retain our customer? What making them be loyal? Why are they coming back? Is it the customer experience process? So I remember telling you people, not last class, previously, I say one of the reasons why Gmail have me is because of logistics. So I don't start thinking of and heavy equipment being having to come to me. I can easily order. I know how much I'm okay with the SLA for delivery. I'm okay. No matter the equipment you get, but then at the point of delivery, that person will most likely come to help you put it in a space you want to be. So I then start thinking of who else, if a vehicle is okay for me to carry the load, who's going to help me, who's going to bring it in. In my house, to help me out now. The answers to that. And that is one of the main reasons why I will buy from Jumia. So retention is, you want to understand why is customer coming back, why are they buying from you, and it could be your seamless process, it could be your pricing strategy or pricing strategy or cost strategy and the likes. So also talk about the revenue. So how do you make money as a business? What brings in money for you? And I remember speaking about understanding. When we're thinking about some metrics, we talk about cost operations for a customer. So it's not all about getting a customer made profit now. Before you can remove your profit as a business owner, you need to remove the cost of operation. So, and one of them is marketing spend. So how much does it cost you By the time you have a customer per month, you divide how much marketing information you have done. As I get the customer, then you know how much it costs. The name for it is CPR or whatever. How much it costs to get one customer per customer's edge. So next we also talk about referral. Are your customers talking about you? Are they referring other people to you? Are you bringing people to your complaint and everything? Matter of what, which is important. So I promised last class to play a video of David or David, somebody that explained the AHR, how to find market. Well, let me just find it. Yeah, it wasn't. I promise to play the video of Dave McClure, who created the Codemetric for us. It's just a 5 seconds. Is it 5 minutes? Yeah, 5 minutes, 14 seconds video for us to understand where it came from and how this metric works for us. So he thought up on the end of product marketers. But remember from our goals presentation, you see how much you have to present to stakeholders and management, where you hear what they are doing now and everything. So let me share my screen on that and work with that. So let me know if you can hear me. If you can hear my, yeah.
Saying, "Arr!" Please welcome Dave McClure.
So let me know if you can hear me.
All right, so the idea is to keep this as simple as possible. There are 5 steps. There's an acronym. It's called ARR. Turn to your partner next to you, do your best Captain Jack Sparrow impression. Please join me in saying, ARR. All right, that's not bad. We'll do that once at the end. All right, so A, acquisition, where users come from. Activation, a happy first experience. Retention, they come back. Referral, they tell other people. Revenue, you make money. That's the 5 things that you want to think about. Got it? That's it. I can stop right now. Okay, ready? All right, so very complicated graph. We'll walk through this in a little bit steps, but acquisition, lots of different channels where I get users who come from widgets, SEO, SEM, PR, traditional campaigns and contests, biz dev, blogs and affiliates, these days, lots of different ways to pull those things in. What's important? What are high volume channels? What are low cost channels? And what are best performing conversion channels? I'll talk about that later, but those are the 3 things to think about. High volume channels are great, but low volume channels are good if they're low cost. Okay, activation. First, happy user experience. Activation criteria, I would say 10 to 30 plus seconds on the site, 2 or 3 page views, 3 clicks. You can define it how you want, but you're using product features on the site to get people to engage and have a happy first visit. Main thing is don't be too smart, do lots of A/B tests and landing pages. Third thing, retention. How do you get them to come back? Email. +7 +30 days. Other stuff on that slide. Referrals. Don't try and do viral marketing campaign until your product doesn't suck, because what will happen is people will tell other people that your product sucks. So don't do that. Do selective qualitative testing to figure out if you're an 8 out of 10 or better, and then start to do viral marketing. Revenue. I have no fucking idea. Figure out how to make money with your product. That's your job. All right. Acquisition, activation, retention, referral, revenue. Say it one more time. Arr! Very good. I won't read the rest of that shit. Next slide. Yes, this is going to be about 3 things to remember if you're in the marketing function. Marketing hat, best performing percentage-wise, largest volume, lowest cost. Those are the important things to remember. If you're a marketer, why you choose different marketing channels, those are the 3 things to think about. Ways that you would be measuring those things, this will come up next, hopefully. Measuring components, audience segment. So young women, regional metro, older singles, like what are the audiences you're coming from? The different channel sources, campaign themes you might use in terms of like find a job, learn to cook, landing page, copy and graphics. Not that important, remember the first 3 parts. Right, so if you were to build a dashboard of these things, here would be the first thing. People that visit the site, 100% conversion, everybody who comes to your site is on your site. Figure out a value, guess at it. Acquisition, a lot of things, people bounce off your site because they didn't mean to come there. Don't measure those folks, those aren't the people that you're really looking at. Activation, happy first visit, what does that mean? X number of pages, Y seconds, Z clicks. Things that you would like to get, email, blog, RSS sign up, or an account profile sign up. Figure again what those percentages are, focus on getting that to happen. Next stage, this slide fucked up, but retention. So how to keep people to come back, measure important criteria are email open rates, and choose a rough metric for what you think retention behavior is, and then measure it. This should be the 4th slide that was previously about 4 referral metrics. So try and find out the people who are at least referring other people to your site, and then also, if you can, measure the people who actively do something when they refer. So massive refers are not as important as people who do refer and those people then join. Lastly, revenue. So 2 things to measure, minimum revenue and then break-even revenue. So if you can get those 2 metrics down, those are important things to kind of figure out. All this forms a sample dashboard that you could look at. From a marketing perspective, what are you trying to do? You're trying to design multiple marketing channels that work for high volume, high conversion, or low cost, but you're trying to measure deeper down the conversion funnel. So you're not measuring effectiveness at the top when they come to the site, you're measuring how effective they are at the lower levels of conversion. If you're in product, don't just build shitloads of features. That's wrong. Look at your measurement, your conversion channel, your hypothetical way that people are successful. Spend 80% of your time tweaking features, 20% of your time doing new feature development, A/B test a shitload, version of rinse and repeat. If you're the founder, you have less, not more. Just doing shitloads of metrics. Choose 5 metrics if you can. 10, certainly no more than that. Measure and iterate. Focus on those conversion improvement points. Most important is hypothesize a customer life cycle, right? That's your job, is to guess what you think people are going to do, measure against that. Different types of metrics, quantitative, qualitative, comparative, and competitive. If you can figure out a tool that helps you give you some information in each of those categories, that's really helpful. And I'm done. Thank you.
So that's all about Pirate, and that's all about the growth metrics. That's all about the growth metrics, the vanity metrics, and the success metrics. So as at the end of last class, we measured. I have dropped the link on the channel. So I mentioned about some product metrics that are more relatable to the PM. I mentioned the primary metrics, the secondary metrics, the guide rail, or the health metrics. So primary metrics are the metrics that align to the overall business goal. So these are the success metrics to use, and they're also called the North Star metrics. So like he said, don't have 30 metrics. You can just pick 5 metrics or 3 to 5 metrics and have that, and make them to for a specific of. So, and PMs, you have a whole lot of session features to create, a whole lot of work to do. So I'm sure your period of time won't be like 3 months for a transaction that will happen in 2 weeks. So then the secondary metrics, I may mention that the secondary metrics are metrics that help you to checkmate star metric. Oh, before you star metric, what she's saying, I said not star metrics are the same thing as the primary metrics. So they are one that helps you to track your long or your more ambitious metrics. So while you have a primary metric going, secondary metrics are something you can use to track. If I had this idea into this goal, will it bust it or will it make it better? Right. So you have better things to do. For example, you have for a website like KodeCamp, so you want to check while you're working on the page to check on the site speed and everything, you want to add to check on the content of the website, and maybe you hide the hex and checking on the customer journey and experience with it. Then you realize that, oh, from this customer experience I'm trying to create on this landing page, it looks as if when there is traffic on the page. Last time I mentioned about tracking when best your page is being in use and everything. So you realize that anytime there is traffic, it slows down the page, the site speed, right? And it causes a bounce rate. So it means that there is traffic, high traffic on your site, the site most likely shut down, or the site speed just goes low. So you want to be able to integrate a feature or make that experience better. At the same time, you want to check on your, we are trying to check on customer experience using your landing page. You want to check on the search buttons. So I've seen a situation whereby you go to a page and you're searching for a product. There is visibly there, but the search button can't pick it up. So, and at the same time, have you noticed Google search buttons? No matter what you're searching for, it'll tell you, is it what you think? This, I think, is what you want. So if I'm looking for, let's say I'm on the website for cars, I'm looking for Toyota, and mistakenly I had spelled Toyota, that's Toyita, against Toyota. A sensitive chat and search tool should give me, do you mean Toyota, and give me options of Toyota. So you want to be able to do that. Just an example of the secondary metrics. So while you're trying to check on customer experience in the landing page, you're checking on the site speed, you're checking on what to do and everything. And the more you get those feedback, the more features you have to create to have that experience. So I did guardrail and health metrics. So I'll see what to do, because these metrics are important with the slides. Somebody is helping me how to the left side slides to get back from the video. Shout out to Daniel. So once you get what you can get, I will add others to make it better. So while we have the guardrail and the health metrics, this help you track your performance of your product. So when I mentioned about discount, checking I didn't really explain the A/B testing better again. So I mentioned about discount. I want to look at which discount bring more sales. At the same time, that's on business products. How about on product feature? You want to check on which forms, so that's when you are making a form integration for KodeCamp. I want to check on which form is better, or which form your customers find more easier than the other. So like for auto check, they had a 5-page application form as against the 1-page application form. If I throw out the 5-page application form to customers and I throw out the same 1-page application form to customers, most likely my B testing will come out better, right? Now the health metrics is the metrics that make you realize that while you feel you have done something better, you are not affecting the business goals. So when I explained that the 5-page form, even though it churns customers away, it helps the credit analyst, because by the time the customer is done with the application, the rate of declination of application will be like probably 20%, because customers are most likely giving you their CSV document, or they found a CSV document to give to you. They've sent in their bank statement. They've answered so many questions about their businesses and everything. So most likely, maybe it could be the turnover that is not enough that could make you turn down a business owner, or their credit behavior and history. Probably they own somebody a lot of money and they're not paying. So you have to get some letters from their banks or financiers, and they cannot get them, you turn them down. Or their salary as against the vehicle they picked, as against the down payment they think they have, is not aligned. They can either tell them, okay, can you change your car, or you turn them down. So those are going to be as a major reason credit analysts turn down customers for finance at that point in time. But now that is a 1-page application, which means that customers don't have to go through a lot of thought process while filling the application. Even though to you, at PM, customers churning has reduced. So now we have better completed application as against the 5-page, right? But what is the effect on the business goal? Business goal is conversions and sales, making revenues. But so now credit analysts may have a problem. They may have 50% application to turn down as again 20% they had before. So the X metric is what make you check if your new test or your new features or your new integrations are not affecting your business goal negatively, or they're not impacting your business, your product performance, right? And so that's why what was now created was a team which was called internal review. So we have a whole lot of complete application, internal review check. Is this application okay? If it's not okay, can you ask them to get the documents to be completed? Then send them down to the credit analyst. So the credit analyst, so at the end of the day, credit analyst is not frustrated and they don't feel like, if you have 10 applications to make and decline 8, by the next time you have seen the application, you will not really look at them in total because you feel like I'll see there's one error that is declined, one error declined, and it really affects performance, the product performance, or even your staff performance and the business performance at the core. So the guide as GUARD, role as RAIL, or the health metrics helps you check the impact of your your improvements, your new features as against the business goal. Is it helping you? Is it affecting you negatively, or thereabout, Yeah. So that was all about metrics for last class, and I wanted to run through closing out on product strategy. Today we're putting out on product strategy and product analytics. And please, you all to read ahead for the next class, which is going to be on product plan. Product plan. I hope we can close that on one class, and then we'll have product roadmap by Thursday next week. So anyway, so let's close out on product strategy. So we've gone through a whole lot of journey with product strategy. It was a whole lot of 3 weeks journey with product strategy. When I was creating my lesson, creating my slides or my curriculum, seriously, I thought it was going to be two class session and all of it. But by the time we're going through the process, I realized there was a lot I didn't want to skip. There was a lot I wanted to go in to check on with product strategy. So we went on to talk about the foundation. Thankfully for us, we've done product vision before and product experience. So we just clip through the product vision. When I talk about product design models, even if we have to skip a little of too much information, should I put it that way, or a little of drag back. So we're able to give an assignment or task on business model, and you all had did a wonderful job with me, business canvas. Please, we have 10 business models, 7 to 10. Please take your time to check more on business model and how to help. So by the time you're in your company, like, Femi, business model, I don't want the link canvas. Give me, I've forgotten them. Give me something, a canvas. You be able to go in and check implement what I'm doing, and a little check on Google search on the web. You check on Google search. You make I've done a research on this. I can easily do it and be able to get to deliver your product on tax or delivery on time. Then we mentioned about product positioning, where we talked about care and not care, and the rest. How do you position your products? How do you, and remember PMs, when you create a feature or a product, you want it to come clearly to other departments to affect the way the product is positioned. One of the marketing departments. Imagine saying, salary and a business owner just come and collect car loan. When someone else assumes I can come and collect car loan. When government policy says financing is 1/3 of your salary, and so if you are earning 70,000 naira, onto some. So you're earning 70,000 naira. I've done this before in a class. 70,000 naira divided by 10. That would be about 23,300. So that means per month, if I'm giving pound rate to me, should be 23,300. So times, if I'm giving the 24 months, that will be about 560. So And this practice is 60,000 naira my interest. So the loan I can get in 2 years is 500. Now, what car will you buy 500? Even if you have 1.5 million naira down payment, what 4-wheel car will you buy for 2 million naira? And it's not going to be a 2,000 or 2,002 car. So what car will you buy between 2005 upwards? For 2 years, it's going to be 2006. So what car will you buy at 2006 4 years upwards? They'll make me give you 500,000 for this. Then the other things, which is the car insurance, registration, the annual maintenance, and the tracker, are important to the car to the financier, to the banks, because they want to track the car, they want to know where you are in case you cannot pay them back. The car document, they want to have the car document by registering in their business name, so that you can sell the car before you. Then you want to show that the company that is doing the company that they are buying through, or the reason why AutoCheck is an assistant is because of the annual maintenance. So the bank know that okay, AutoCheck is the one maintaining the car, and as in the car, whoever is happening to the car, AutoCheck, I can hold AutoCheck responsible. The last one, insurance. I want to be sure that you yourself, if anything happens to the vehicle, you're not fully at loss. So what the services will cost probably 500,000 naira. So what will how will I give 500,000 naira? And that means I can't finance anything. So these are the information, and at that point in time, marketing we're not even understanding that information. So someone will come into you and have that customer experience. They will go out there and say, oh, that product is not working. It is not working. They didn't understand that it's not working because they're earning 7,000 naira. But by the time the credit department understood how to make sure, how to inform the business, the marketing department, then they understood that okay, you have to earn 250,000 and above, and have or in 2 months to have this loan, or turnover of 5 million in 6 months, 5 million in 2 months, or there in 3 months to have this loan. So and that information goes out. The customer knows, okay, I'm earning more than 250,000, so yes, I can apply for this loan then against the car I want. So these are things we talked about, the positioning, we talked about how the perception of the product is important, right? You don't want to be known as Chinko. You don't want to know that at Uber cars or whatever cars, they say you just want to make sure that your product positioning is well okay, and this can be done by what are the sales department saying about your product, what are the customer department agents saying about the product, and what are the marketing hard or strategy out there saying about the product. So we'll move on to the market itself, about an effective work on our competitive analysis. So competitors, what are competitors, how do we check on them, how do we analyze them, how do we get them, how do we become better, how do we position our products to become better than competitors in the market, so as to keep the product with a longer shelf life. We also talked about personnel, which is more interesting. We had a tax on personnel, and it was interesting how we create personnel, understand even from competitors or from market, also understand that we could still create personnel for our products. So who are the customer buying from stores? Can I put them in customers, understand who they are? So why is me buying from soap from Lowe's as I gain joy, or against Canada? Yeah, I'm going back to the 2000s and 90s. So why I buying joy? Why using joy soap as I gain lost, as I get lost, as I gain Canada? What is different? Why? So can I create a personality? Could it be feminine skin tone, sensitive skin sensitivity? Could it be the demographical area? Could it be what he does? What and why do you choose joy or lost? And why don't you choose lost over inferior? So we talked about that. Personal for customers we are getting from our customer feedback. At the same time, from our competitors, from our community research. So then we moved into this class we have to are our classes on the imperative, the goals, the metrics, and we mentioned initiative last class. I don't know if we did initiative last class. So it's nothing different, just a little bit of the level of effort of work that is needed to be done, that needed to be infused to implement or achieve goals. The last class we talked about what the goal is, what the initiative is, or what is the roadmap, or it's different from roadmap. What is the process going to be? to reach what we are doing, so that initiative we are putting. So for example, if I'm increasing the number of learners for KodeCamp by 25%, at KodeCamp 3.0. So 3.2 is 5,000 people. So that is 25%. That I'll be thinking about 250 people to add. I understand that I need to put a metrics. When should I say okay, people are not there? That I have 1,250 people up additionally. That means 6,250 people sign up. That don't mean I have 250 people, because people that sign up might not take the course. Then we put a metric at 0. 2 minutes, please. So I will put a metric at 0 saying total number of learners that successfully complete that 0 shows the total number of people on board. And if I need 1,250 additionally, that means I need 2,250 people on board. Then actually aiming at 10,000 members sign up, right? So that's an initiative. Then you know what are the initiatives to put in place. Should we have more courses? So the process in which to reach goal or to do your goal is an initiative. To have more courses, we are adding more courses. Should we make a better learner experience? Then what are the features I'm implementing to this? If I'm adding more courses, definitely we have to get more trainers. We have to find out what learners we want to have. Should be cyber security and the rest. So what measure should I put? Should I make it a scholarship or should I make that a paid course? Then what features am I creating? Am I creating LMS? Am I adding a feature to the existing LMS to make sure that sources are being seen by the learners? What are the learner experience at 2.0? Are they complaining about the 2 currently we use? Probably they're talking about they can't find resources again for after a long time find resources again. So putting the resources on the LMS and having it as a 2 icon already. Everybody can go in and check at any time they want them to be awesome. Sorry about that. So I want to be able to put all of this to the LMS so that so one of the things that they complain about, some complain about tax. Oh, I didn't know when the tax up. I didn't know the I didn't know the deadline was this. I was not online. I did not open my app. But if I put the tax on the LMS with time frame and time schedule, you know that to do is to sign up to your LMS and check your tax. So you know that this time the tax is going. Time you sign up to your LMS, you'll be seeing your time, the time frame, your time duration, the countdown for you. You need to know that, oh yeah, if I do something at this time, I'm done. So this is going to help the learner's experience. Then I can just say, okay, yes, I can go on with this cohort. At the same time, you want to check the training value. So what is the value? What is the product value for the learners? People that did a beginner class, they want to do the intermediate course. They want to join the intermediate course, or they feel like I like nothing from that class. I wasted 3 months with people. I'm going to find another product. Or they feel like, oh, I want to get more. I really enjoyed my first class. I want to understand better in this, and are they really need to pay? So I think the analysis is going to help us talk about how do you make a free trial customer to a paid customer. So are they really need to pay for intermediate course? If you say intermediate course is going to be with subscription of a fee, are they really need to pay for the course and everything? So then what are the features you are putting in? The quality. Should you make a video quality better? The network quality, are you guys on the trainers? And should it be what can you do with YouTube so that people can go back, people that miss the class can go back to catch up on the class? So these are things you want to put in. So now I've talked about the just for me to create 25% of KodeCamp 2 learners in KodeCamp 3 to add 25%. So I can say that for that generic objective, I created more initiative from there. What am I doing? And from each initiative I talked about, there were features I needed to add. So the features are the product features. So as product management, somebody can be talking blah blah blah, and people are like, oh, what are they saying? But you already know that this is the objective. Then what are the key results you're going to get from this? What are the tasks you're doing? What are the product features you're getting from it? And that's where your assignment is based on. So I said, go on KodeCamp, try and put the metrics in it and give me product features. So yes, there is what is the site wasn't working. If it's not working, then the product feature you need to create. All the things you need there using from there. Can you sign up on the website? If you cannot sign up on the website, that's a feature you need to create. So what feature are you getting? All the initiative around there. That is all about initiative. So we're in recap. So going through to the last of product strategy. The other, we did product strategy. The other strategy out there that you could use, which are the cost strategy. When you're doing your computer analysis, you definitely find out about pricing. So you want to use a pricing value to position your. You want to check on how well. So when I talked about computer analysis, I mentioned about pricing, a little bit of pricing, and I said if you know that you want to know where you're getting products from that is of quality and at a better price. You want to know who is their supplier, right? Or you want to know how to make a computer. Even though you're not directly attacking the other brand, we're making a computer information to the customer to tell them that you have quality. Like, even though they may think it's your stuff is quality. So that's one thing iPhone has done. That's one thing Samsung has done, positioning themselves to tell them it's a lifestyle. This is quality. The best for the best. It's expensive. Even though it's expensive, but because then you put your money in for the. So even when you find out what they are doing your customer understand that you are giving them something that actually does them at this point. It's not because you have quality and you know this quality you have. And when we are trying to inform them that it's only from you they can get quality, from other people are getting something else. So we also have what they call the differentiation strategy. So remember when you're giving computer analysis, you need to understand actually I mentioned about how do you position your products to be different from other products, right? So at least people will and talk also about the brand voice, that people will know about you and you need to create something different. At the same time, what feature could be different? You could make a product answer to so many needs or pain points of a customer as against your competitors and all, right? So we also have the market opportunity strategy, which helps you in developing products based on what you learn. So it's the same thing as measuring strategy. You are trying to position yourself better in the market. I mentioned about doing computer analysis. I mentioned about so can you see there are all other computer analysis most likely. I mentioned about information that because you are researching on something, you have no information your computer might not have, right? Because you are currently going on a research, or that's why most companies have some research departments, because you are researching every time. Your computer might not have that information you have that could help out. One of the examples is Web3 for PMs. So if you can learn Web3, so many oldies and big deals in the PM world may not even see that, may not be flexible enough to embrace other products, right? But because you've done that, you're already having a salary, you're already on a salary higher than other people, and they're like, oh, when did you start? But because you unless a market, people were not saturated at a point, and you're able to up. So I'm using an example for the market oriented strategy. So one thing about research is it gives you more information that could help. One of these was MTN. When MTN embraced, when the government policy came out to say telecommunications can now do fintech kind of. MTN embraced that, though they were yet to their products, but if embraced and it meant to say to the world embracing this. And I'm so sure that they had that information before it came to the newspaper, right? So extensive research will help you how to position your product better, or what are you building to make better than the competitors, and that way you have customer retention better. So also have the platform-based strategy. So it's could mean different things to you. It depends on how it means to you. It could be you are trying to integrate other products to your product. So for example, let's assume, for example, I want to buy a good on Jumia. You're just selling goods alone for me, and you're not creating, you're not integrated with the logistic firm to help me out to make a better growth. I'll go away. Or at the point of payment, you're not integrating easy payment method for me. So like now, I think now if you go on Jumia page, at the point of checkout, you see FCMB. If you're using an FCMB card, there's a discount percentage for you. If you are using your card, so maybe I'm using a VAB card, you're telling me you can only get MasterCard. Why not integrate VAB on your app? So it means I cannot buy from you now. So all those kind of things. So it helps you to know what to integrate, what product to integrate to enhance your business and to create more product value for your product, right? So we also have the quality strategy. Remember when I talked about you want to know what is the better quality to use. So even though it might affect your cost, you want to know how to inform someone that you have better quality. It could be that your computer has a better quality and design, or with better branding, and it's like a superior quality. You want to know who their supplier is, and you want to also, make your services better. So it could be your customer support team. You need to make better. You need to make them more informed. It could be your marketing department, could be your sales department. There's some companies that go out there to make sure that their marketers have their vehicles because they are trying to portray a business item. Like if my marketers are comfortable, then you can trust me to do business for you. We know how to manage your money. We know how to handle your money. So if a marketer doesn't have, so one company right now is Access Bank. They have learned to give all their full staff within 3 months. You get your car. Because so at least when you're going out talking to a customer, you have your branding, you have everything branded already for you. Then you're going out to this customer, you know, oh, you're working with Access Bank, you have your car. No matter the kind of car they give to them, but you have your vehicle. So I can trust you to understand life. I can trust you to talk to me as an HNI client. You already boost your confidence. I'll make you have a quality already. You can talk to me. So that way they can function better, right? So it could be your data, as you make your data better. It could be that you have a lot of data scattered everywhere. You're trying to improve your process. What can you do and the rest? Are you trying to talk to your customer that are reliable and the rest? We also have the time-based strategy, which is prioritizing your product efficiency, or production efficiency. So it could be SLAs. You could, like I mentioned last class about CRM, making the CRM product better. So instead of a customer is calling, you can reduce the time rate of a customer or the call rate of the customer engaged the customer. So instead of it, you can reduce from 5 minutes to 2 minutes. I mentioned that in last class. I'm using from 5 minutes to 2 minutes by making sure the product features around them or for the internal users is better. So instead of me having a chunk of customers, a chunk, CHUNK, it's a chunk of customer in one place, whereby the customer just call, oh, hello, and by the time he's trying to see what product they pick. Or is it a foreign used car, a new car, or a locally used car? So by the time I've segmented that in CRM, you already know that this customer picked a brand new car. So you are confirming for the customer picking a brand new car and the right. Again, spending time trying to know what product the customer gets. At the end of the day, you reduce the customer time. So for example, I also meant one of the classes previously, I made an example of Jumia. Like for example, I bought a goods and I bought paid twice. I'm calling their customer support agent. After going to the chat of information of press 1, press 2, press 3. Customer agent just ask, what's your name? What's your reference number? And next thing, they already have my their information. Oh yeah, I can see that you paid some money at this time. I can see that you also made another purchase which was successful at this time. Or if it was not successful, don't worry. Within 3 working days, your bank should refund you. So that way, I don't start telling them. I don't start expressing my frustration. I made it 5 o'clock yesterday. You know, it's 8 o'clock today. They already had that information on the system, and that will help. So time-based strategy can help you to improve at the end of the day the business goal. Last. So these are strategy and other strategy that can be infused in product strategy and helping you as a PM. So welcome to this class. We can run through product analytics and have a wonderful look at product analytics. So product analytics is nothing big. It's not as if you are doing data analytics. Even though PM sometimes you need to understand it's data analytics, but product analytics is not data analytics, and it's just it's interwoven with metrics. So that is implementation for metrics, but it's also interwoven with metrics. So what is product analytics? Give me a minute, please. So product analysis is the process of analyzing your user engagement with the product. So at PM, we want to know if a customer is interested in your product, how they engage with the product. We want to understand the product experience. Remember, we did a class on product experience, the customer journey, and customer experience. So we want to know how they engage your product. We want to know their journey through your pipeline. So when you acquire the customer, what made them become activated, and what made them retained with you. So I came on your website. I checked through your website at the KodeCamp prospective learner. I searched for a product. It came out. But everything I needed on your website is informed. The website is, the site speed is awesome. The bounce rate is fair, and everything is informed and well detailed. Then I go to sign up on your form. The form is easy and interesting, and I signed up for the program, got the email notification, I signed the program. So, but what made me come to your website? What made me become a learner with KodeCamp? That's what's in product analysis tracks. So it tracks the journey or the engagement of your customers with you. So product analysis makes use of metrics to identify or to identify features or features that has friction points with a customer, right? So it involves collecting of data, product metrics, tracking user behavior to help inform decisions regarding the product. So you want to make a decision about the product. Should we test a new product? What other things that will make you test that product? Product analysis are the tools you use to track them. So the analysis focuses on success or quantitative metrics. So it doesn't focus on vanity metrics. Growth metrics is involved with certain metrics too, and vanity metrics. So it doesn't talk about the vanity metrics. It's a quantitative data. You want to assess the quantitative data and make informed information. Make understand. So I also believe, like, also check changing five page application form to one page application form, or because they have an informed data from the customer support team. When you understand that the high rate of draft applications was more against the completed applications. So analysis focuses on success and quantitative metrics as it provides data-driven reference points for decisions about the product roadmap. We talk about roadmap after product plan. That is product ready to future prioritization. So there are a difference between the product analytics and the product metrics. I'm planning to say, I told you, the product metrics are data measurements. They are the measurements you put in place to track your key results and to see as against your objective, right? So, but there are data measurements that are captured during analysis. So when you analyze something, analysis make you have an objective goal, make you give your objective, and make you know what metrics you put in place to track that objective. That's product analysis. Sorry, I keep saying data analysis. So metrics is examined based on strategic planning process, industry, that's metrics, industry niche, business size, and product type. Why are tools used in capturing your metrics? So metrics is under product analysis, right? So product analysis tools, these are tools that capture data by tracking user actions within a product or landing page website. So website could be the product, CRM could be your product, a process tool could be your product, Jira, whatever could be your business, or the product feature. The product analysis tools, they include attribution analysis, which analyze the customer touch points that leads to conversions. So they came to your website, or from Sans, I came to your website, or I had to go back and come back again, go back and come back again. I came to my brand. So example includes your demos. So it could be that you've done a video demo on the website that make it more informed. So that means the web page is more informed to your customers. It could be your marketing information or product positioning. Could be your web visit. So that means your website is more informed and better, or your site buttons are awesome and everything. So churn analysis. So when I mentioned about churn, when I was explaining the class, I mentioned about what makes you or at a business to lose your customer. So at what rate are your customers going? So you want to track the rate at which their customer going. So for like AutoCheck, they realized that the application was too much and customers were really dropping off at that application point. Some of them just say, I was going to buy the car. I want to buy the car. I'm not even interested again. So 5 pages to make loading, so and the rest. So you want to know what is happening and how to arrange this to make it better for your customer experience and product experience. So you capture the reason why the customers leaves the business or leaves the product. So we also have the quote analysis, the commercial analysis, and the funnel analysis. So the quote analysis is measure the behavioral patterns by segmenting users into related groups. So remember when we did an association mapping, I'm talking about Uber, and people were like, but Uber goes to rural areas. But apparently they started first for the urban areas, right? So by the time you start your product, you want to know, you want to segment. So like now you start a product, and at first, okay, like KodeCamp started a product for learners. Probably at first they started for students for KodeCamp 1.0. Then later I realized that there are 9 to 5 people doing KodeCamp. So basically you segment students to students, and you want to understand how do you position the class for the students to be okay. Are they on session? Are they doing their summer breaks or their breaks at school? At school, at how schools break at the same time, and what is going to be the best time to start for students. But 9 to 5, want to understand what can we do for them to have their resources, so I can help. The people in other geographical areas that of time different to you, of different times, you want to segment them. Okay, if you are in the US, at times we are having a class here, it could be your midnight there. What can you do to get over and the likes? So let me run down to the funnel. Okay, no, not yet. So why conversion analysis? This tracks the rate at which customers complete the desired conversion process or where they drop off. 2 minutes, please. Let me run back to the cohort analysis. I also want to know if a company is saying, okay, train this set of people for me, so that they can train my intent for me, so that it can be with me and I can build my staff strength. So that could be like B2B now, KodeCamp now, B2B, that business to business product or whatever. So this I want about code and segmenting them. And one thing about product is that the more you grow in a product, the more segmentation will happen. So you can start from selling to customers alone, then you end up like for someone like AutoCheck or AutoCheck. Is AutoCheck better? AutoCheck. Someone like AutoCheck, whereby they were selling to customers alone. At a point, they realized that I can sell from customers to dealer, not just from dealer to customer. So if a customer have a Nigerian use web and the dealer wants to buy, customer is an hurry to sell, I said to the dealer will keep and sell to the customer later. I said I can sell to the customer, to dealer, and from dealer again, I sell to the customer again. Then at the same time, they realized that okay, we can just sell to business. So maybe wants a lot of cars to sell for Uber, or Uber need a car for your people. You could join in hand and sell those cars to business. At that point in time, you have to segment. That when they start creating departments, right? So you have to segment your customers as you got this, so that by the time you're creating product features, you create product features that will answer to their needs. So conversion analysis now is to track the rate at which customer complete desired conversion rate. So you have a process, you have a pipeline process. The process could be come to the website, apply for a financing, get disbursed. But most customers will not go through that way. So let's assume the financial partner themselves are their own customers. They are sending their customers to you. The customer does not need to go, they already have their KYC. So the customer does not have to go through your application form again, and then not come from your website. That means you're having under customer, under conversion rate. So you want to understand, what are my pipelines? What pipelines do I have? And what product features can I create to answer to this pipeline? So for example, for the car financing business, you realize that they needed to do something like, from the bank app, I should to apply for car financing. I don't need to tell you to tell my account manager. My account manager then will not tell the other company that I need a car. But just let me leave. I don't have my account managers. Let me leave. I don't have plenty of money, but even though maybe I have a spread of my account somewhere, I don't even know my account managers because I've been transacting on the bank app and easy. And the number is stopping me. Yes, you have to bring my ID card, and I snap my ID card and I post on the web and I go. So if I don't have account manager contact, definitely I can't buy car. So can you create a tool whereby it will be integrated to the bank app? I can just see you want car financing, click any car you want, and it will link me directly to a website, pick the car, and when I pick the car, it just generates an automated invoice for me. Then the bank has sees it and know that, okay, yes, they can collect the car, and before you know it, I get my car. So can you do that for me as a bank customer? So you want to know what how to track the rate at which your customer comes in to complete your process, and what is the new pipeline they have been built up, and what is causing them to drop up, at what point to drop up. Yeah. So remember, you want to make business revenue, you want me to gather every cost. That's why research is better. So you want to know what point. What link? Okay. Want to know at what point can you make more business segments and business growth. So the funnel analysis is the same to what I just explained, to track the customer journey through different stages to sales, test to understand the point of frustration to customer, friction or churn. At what point to the customer leave the funnel? So why is that a customer came to the website, started an application and stopped? Why is that a customer completed an application but went to go and buy his car? Could it be that the time frame is too much, causing friction or churn? Could it be that interest rate? Should we review the interest rate? Should we bring more options of financiers on board? The customer can see more options. Should we cut down on an SLA for a transaction? If we're cutting down on an SLA, what product feature are we putting in place to help the staff and to help the customer alongside? So these are things you want to check, right? So we have the analysis, which is to analyze the product value and other factors that keeps a customer. This can also be gotten from your customer feedback. So I want to see why is your customer coming back? You not assume that you are good. Somebody might do that research on you, a competitor that's just coming up, and before you know, all your customer has come to them. So what could it be? What is making your customer stay with your branding? Customers are staying with your branding. Could be your quality, could be your service. Your service is good. What is there that making customers stay with you, and at the same time refine people back to you? Segmentation. I mentioned to the next one when I talked about the business growth. When I talked about the cohort analysis, right? So now, because you segment by B2B, customer to customer, dealers, whatever you segment, then you also want to segment. So because that is like, it's still a generic one, a generic coverage. Doesn't mean that in Abuja with you or Port Harcourt with you. So now I want to now put them in geographical areas. This will now make you understand if a business needs to go there physically to have a physical spot. So now I'm answering to B2B, but I'm answering a business in Ilorin and in Lagos, but we are getting a car and transporting to Ilorin. Why can't we just be in Ilorin and work with the dealers in Ilorin? Make sure that Ilorin B2B customers is being worked on. So now at this point in time, we are making one submission cohort analysis to make sure that they are being in their behavior, their personas, their demographical areas, and everything as regarding to them. So the product analysis helps make better product decisions by examining product growth and metrics. So how do you examine product growth and metrics? What are the things that you examine? What are the questions to answer to ask yourself to make sure that you have the right analytics? Even though you know what tools to use and you know where to look at, but can you answer the question can you answer the question that help you with respect to look at? Apologies, that's out there that you do the analysis as you can do your research on what you can I use for this, what you can I use for this, or what technology can I use out there. So we also have to answer some questions that will help you to know what exactly you're looking at. So you're looking at conversion. So is the process easy? So you're wondering, is your when you're checking about the conversion analysis, you're wondering, is your are they going through the right funnel process, or what is happening? What process are they coming in from? Can I get on that process? When I mention the bank people are sending people, the last people who are sending people, that's on that funnel. The bank are sending their customers to you, or financial partners are sending their customers to you. Dealers are sending their customers that come directly to them to you. People are coming from your website. So what that process can you create again? That could be a channel for you, right? So it's because easy. Do trial customers. So that's we are doing a trial course. So when I have beginners learners who are on free learning process, would they be able to go for intermediate and become a paid learners? So you want to know that customers see value in product to become a paid customers. So what is the product feature? So if there's some products that you use, also tools you use for designing and hierarchy, you realize that there are trial apps. But you realize that there's some feature you cannot access until you are a paid customers. So what product feature or information will aid customer to sales? So what are the things you need to put there? What are the features you need to see? It could be like, so now we've done product management at the beginner step. What are the things that you know that is important that you not taught you, and you want to pay for it to do to access the next aspect or to open the next key aspect? So how long does it take for customer to purchase? You want to know the duration. So the last class I mentioned about when I was talking about some metrics, vanity metrics and everything. I mentioned about how your metrics in the analytics put in how many customers came on board and how many times a customer has searched for a particular product on your website before they later make a sale or make a decision on it. So you also know what kind of product they ask for. So if you have some product features, you want to know which one sells more and why they're selling more, which other one why is it selling less. You want to know what information do they have about that. Should we kill this? Should we reboot it or should we rebrand it? Acquiring customers. Remember when how they find you? What are the tagline? What are the things? How they find you? Is it by saying code and KodeCamp is coming out, or is it by saying loan? Check is coming out. So how they find you? Is the landing page informative and engaging? So when they come to your website, they get everything. Does it answer all their questions? They get everything. Are they satisfied with everything? That even they needed a little or more help by reaching out to you. So are they okay? Can a customer that is well patient and nailed come to your website and make sales? He comes, check the car. You already heard from somebody or sales marketing. Come check the car, go through a process and disburse. It doesn't need your support to get that disbursement. So, do you have that landing page more informative to your customer? So at the time, is the product positioning and marketing clear? So which is what I said about information. And when I mentioned about marketing saying come and collect car as a salary earner, whereas in that one I least salary to be able to access the car and everything. So the next one will be on the customer retention. So this product pipeline should have been under acquiring customers. So that the customer is staying with you. So, like I said before, don't just think that customer is staying with you because you get at the best in town. Somebody may come up and just carry your customer or your client base. Right. The time whereby Zenith Bank and First Bank had their HNIs, they had the competitions and everybody had their clients. So the Access Bank has them too. The business owners are the most good clients on that Access Bank. The time whereby new generational people want to use GTB alone, right? So the Access Bank also other need to and everything. So you don't want to just stay there and say, you want to wait to understand your customer and to get new customer next thing. So what is the most product features or product value or the product feature value and what is the list? So why are they staying with you? So something like Jimmy, if a company comes up and answer this to me, and the cost and the SLA is shorter and the price is better, or even if the price is not even better, but they answer to all my frustration needs by Jumia. So really, I'll fault. Nobody will tell me why I fault, right? So you want to know what is keeping your cost, what you improve on, and what should you do more of. So what is the user application for form to one form? So the customer are not happy with the 5 form. When they're asking you, can I come to my office and bring all this document you're asking for me? When you make the one form, you start, okay, now you understand my pain. The team efficiency, right? So remember when I talked about you want to change that SLA between 5 minutes to 2 minutes. Then you see what product feature will you put in place to help this team to become more efficient. What can don't be customized? So remember, if you put the right product feature or you build the right product features for your internal users, so it will work with the other users, it will affect the business positively. Everybody's relaxed. Everybody knows the right to work. Information, they have the information in one place, and it's well detailed and things. What can be done to improve team on user capacity? Some on training, you make more product features, that's things to do to ensure that your team efficient. We want to go to each team to understand their frustration. So it could be an external product you are making use of that is frustrating their life. Then can you build your own product or that product? Recently, I saw one of my colleagues is building a product. And remember that product. Hi. Okay, yeah. So for the human resources company, human resources firm thing, they are building a product that look like the human resource, that look like the human manager. If you are familiar with the human manager is a hub for human resources. So the company is building a product that looks exactly like the human manager. So most likely the HR has complained that okay, we can't tweak this app to our service, and it's really hard. Even though I see human managers mail that seems like they are improving in their products, but you might feel like I can't really tweak the human manager to what we need. There's too many things we would like to do on the human manager that is not unique to the business or to the company or to the HR strategy and plans. Then let's build an HR tool for you people, right? So at least you can have this information well secured and everything. So you understand that aspect. So because of team efficiency, you may decide as PMs to say, okay, let's build our project to aid efficiency. At the same time, when everybody's relaxed, everybody knows what you're doing, you cannot think what to work well and to help your business revenue at the long run. So product analytics is used by PMs to analyze users' interaction with the product and to see how to make it seamless. So today, that's the end of our class today. Next class, we're talking about the product plan. What are the things under the product plan that I need you all to do a little bit of research on it? So I need you to check on the minimum lovable product, the minimum viable product, the product requirement document, that your PHOD. These are the things we'll touch base on in our next class, right? And after then, we'll go into the roadmap. We see how product methodology to work on, which will be a welcome to Jira, a welcome to Agile, a welcome to Kanban, and the rest. So thank you for today. See you all in class next week. So today's Thursday. See you in class next week. Thank you and God bless. If you have any question, please raise up your hand. I have like 2 minutes to answer a question. Do you have a question for me? So at the hasn't of no question. Jesus, that's not on the recording. So I hasn't of no question. Let's say a good night. Good night, guys. See you later. Bye. Evelyn, I need you to make me a host. Evelyn, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good evening.
Please, Evelyn, please make me a host.
Hello?
Yes, can you make me a host? Can you make me the host? Can you make me the host? Okay, Evelyn, can you end the class for us? So just end the class and let us go. Please, please, please.